scars, just like tattoos, but with better stories. I myself, personally, have 17 or 18 scars from 5 different surgeries on my feet, part of my leg, and my hip to get a bone out to reconstruct my feet when I was, let's see, first surgery was around 2 weeks. Then I believe the second surgery was around 15 weeks old. Last surgery was at 5 years old. And that was when I was a kid, you see. And at one point in time, they had to break every bone in my foot, on both feet actually, to reconstruct them so they would actually grow, because at 5 years old, they stopped growing. Well, in the process of that, they also had to take a bone out of my hip, my right hip to be exact, to grow those feet back. So, in essence, my body was reconstructing itself at 5 years old. And it's funny how our body works like that. We get cut and it heals. We get heartbroken and our heart aches, but it heals. Mental scars are left from abuse and negligence. Physical scars from abuse, sometimes negligence, and just our own stupidity. Sometimes those scars tell stories that are painful and deep. Other times, they're just of times when you were stupid with your friends. But you see, those scars are who we are. It's what we are and what we are becoming through those scars that make us the person we are. You see, everybody's got a scar or 2 or a dozen or 100. It doesn't matter whether you're a burn victim, whether you had your appendix removed, whether you were born with a defect that had to be fixed and rectified. It doesn't matter what your story is, because everybody's story is unique. And you see, my story obviously started out born with club feet. For those of you that don't know that, your foot is like this. Mine were like this. Completely ass backwards. So, the great doctors at Children's and Shriners Hospital of St. Louis decided that they were going to fix me up, and that's why I'm able to walk around right now and work out. And you see, they told me when I was younger that I would never be able to run, and by God, I can't run. I try, and I can't, but I suck it up, and I do it anyways when I have to. They told me that it's a great possibility that I could never walk again, but I am because of them, and I am humbly thankful for that. You see, we all have this story, and sometimes we play the victim of that story, and we think that the world owes us, that we need a savior in our life, that we need somebody to rescue us, or sometimes we play this part of the rescuer in another person's story. In reality, we are all things and we are no things at one time. You see, we can be a victim and a rescuer at the same time, because that person that is victimizing us, we could be rescuing them from their self, because when they victimize us, they might look at themselves and say, damn, I'm a fucked up person and I need to change. And you see, yeah, it sucks to be a pawn in the game of life. It sucks when the kings and the queens and the knights and all the royals above us want to hold us down and keep us back. But it's when you rise up as a whole, as a community, and you do something about it. You see, they want you to be lazy. They want you to be on the couch and fat and overweight. They don't want you in places like this. They don't want you to work out and better yourself and rewrite your story, because they wrote it for you. See, they've scripted your life with products like Coca-Cola and Nike and Apple, Samsung, all kinds of products. Yeah, sure, I'm talking to you right now on a brand new goddamn Samsung Galaxy Note fucking 5. But you know what? I earned that, because I wake up every day in pain and I still get the fuck out of bed. I still walk my ass out that door. I still go to work. I still come to the gym and put work in. I still am bettering society with my presence. But you see, there's many people out there who want to sit around, who want to eat junk food, who want to eat them Cheetos and Doritos in big gulps. There's people out there who want to write their story, but they never start it because the script is already in front of them. And they want to go to places like McDonald's, and they want to go to places like Burger King, and they want that fast food, hot, ready meal. They want to go to the store and they want to get a frozen package of food, and they want to microwave it for 5 minutes, and they want to gobble it down in front of late night TV. And these are the same people that want you to feel sorry for them and their situation. They want to think that the world, that we owe them something. When they don't, when they do not contribute to society one single bit. And you see, this is the story that many of us live. We live the victim story, the victim of life, the government holding us back. When in reality, you got your wings clipped by your own hand. You are your own slave master in your fucking mind. You want to hold yourself back because when you were a kid, you got told to sit down and shut the fuck up. But see, I'm here to tell you that you can free yourself because you are the gatekeeper with the key. And it's funny because they want to enslave you. You are born in a system that gives you a number. And after they give you that number, you are shuffled through it. You are put into school. They tell you to sit down and shut the fuck up. You have to fall in line every place you go. You have to ask for permission to do things. You can't cry. You can't scream. You can't do anything you want to do. And there's progresses when you're older and you get a job and they tell you to sit down and shut the fuck up and do what you're told. And many of us live this life to the day that we die. We live this life of solitude and anger. We live this life of no gratitude, of distaste and disgust. And we're okay with it. We take that corporate job sitting at a desk, pushing fucking pencils instead of following our dreams. All because we're born into a system who writes us off as a fucking number when we die. And I'm here to tell you, you need to free yourself from that fucking mental prison that you're put in. Because I have. That's why I live this story of mine. That's why the adversities that I was born with, the asthma, the feet problems, the knee problems, I don't give a fuck what problems I have. I do not let that script be my life. I write my own script. And that's what you need to do. You see, my story is one with many curves and detours, many bumps in the road, many walls I've climbed and bust through head first. You see, there's nothing in life you can't fucking do. Your story is yours and yours alone. And you see, it's fucking up to you what you do. And by God, by the grace of the heavenly gods, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. The only thing you can't do, and I'm telling you right now, the only thing you can't do is live the life they want you to live and the life you want to live simultaneously. Because you see, the life they want you to live is one where you are lazy, one where you sit on your couch and watch their television shows, where you eat their food. That's not the life for me. See, my story involves something different. See, I envision myself on that grand stage in front of millions of people on live television. I envision 1,500 pounds. Yeah, I'm going big. I might even go 16. Sitting on the fucking floor in front of me on a bar. I envision myself strapping it up to my hands, screaming as I lift it off the floor. And you, watching this right now, will probably be the same fucking person watching me, still hating, saying I rounded my back a little bit, or maybe my form was shitty, or I'm using straps and a belt. Who gives a fuck? Because what are you doing with your story? You see, your story is yours, and yours alone, and my story is mine, and mine alone. You see, when you write your story, who do you want to be? Do you want to be a weed growing in the garden that somebody plucks and throws away? Fuck no. You see, weeds are a good indication of life. You see, that is a great mirror when you look at a dandelion. What is a dandelion? It is a weed to many, but a flower to a lot. You see, a dandelion grows up, and it has different versions of itself. And the dandelion grows up just so it can die. But when that dandelion dies, it is not the dandelion itself, but the version of the dandelion that dies off to be reborn again. And once it's reborn, it spreads its seeds throughout the world and sows them in many places. And that is how you should live your story, as I'm living mine. You see, I ain't telling you what to do today. I am not telling you to go out and do something stupid like quit your fucking job. But if it would make you happy, then by God, quit that fucking job and pursue your dreams. You see, life, you only get one life. There's many job opportunities out there. There's many companies looking for fucking people. Many McDonald's, many fast food places, many people that can do jobs that you're doing right now. But only you can do the job of living your life. And when you realize that shit, and when you realize that you can do anything, that your story needs to be written by your hand and your pen and your book, not somebody else's notebook. You see, you need to figure out what your story is. Are you a world-class musician, but you're working that 9 to 5 just to get by? Are you in college, but working that 9 to 5 just to get by? Are you having to raise a family of 8 on a 9 to 5 minimum wage job, doing side hustling just to get by? I ask you to look at yourself real hard and real deep. I ask you to look within. Close your eyes and just ask yourself, self, what do I want? And when you have an answer in your fucking head about what you want, you need to manifest that into the life that you are living now to live the life that you want to live tomorrow. You see, nobody's going to give you anything in life. My story is one that's a fucked up story. And I don't want a perfect story. Because I'm not a mental fucking slave anymore. And I know that nothing is going to be perfect in life. And here's the thing. I don't want it to be. I thrive off of pain and adversity. Oh, it fuels the fuck out of me when I'm here in the gym and I'm deadlifting and my motherfucking legs are like jello and they're hurting. That fuels me. When I get calluses on my hands and bloody shins, it fuels me to go greater, to soar to bigger heights. So I just ask you right now to get out of the mental trap of life. Get off the beaten path that's been walked 1 billion times, 7 billion times before you. I ask you to make a detour at one avenue in your life to a different path and see how far that gets you.